we're out and about supporting local. There's an organization supporting orphans in Africa. So we're here to show our love, show our support, and we will take you with us. So enjoy and enjoy. Have a great evening with me.
Hi, I'm Nicole Traore Ditnignon, and this is Henry Traore Ditnignon. And we wanted to say thank you to Eric and everyone on the Cornerstone of Hope board here in the Des Moines area for everything that they do for the orphanage in Nigeria and for the one that they're hoping to open in Senegal too. And to, if the orphans see this, I guess lots of love to you all, prayers for you. I hope that you get everything you want in life. Thanks.
I'm Alutita. I'm part of the board of director here. Because this orphanage has meant so much to us, and so especially like in our kids too, because we want them to be involved to what we're doing. We want them to know that we're helping all the kids that do not have what our kids have. So it's really, it's a huge privilege just to be here. Plus, I do know that all of the work we do, it's back in Africa, but we're making so much impact into this kid's life that you cannot put a price tag on it. So the kind of work we do, we do it for our pure heart. Like what we talked about earlier. I mean, this board director, everything we do, it's for 100% for volunteer. So we just want to thank everybody for coming. We would like to thank Eric for starting this long time ago. So we are just so fortunate to be able to be here. So thank you.
We are new to this beautiful cause, and it's so amazing what you're doing with all the children. And we are blessed to know one of the people who was adopted into the family with the Craig family, and he's just a wonderful child with so many wonderful qualities. And we wish you the very best, and we'll do what we can to help. And we just send our hopes and blessings to you that all will continue to go well for you. Thank you for all that you do.
Eric, I hope you're watching all these wonderful and amazing messages. It's truly remarkable what you're doing in the community. It's truly remarkable how you're connecting families with kids. And we have seen an example of that tonight. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing, Eric. Keep up the good work, and we're here to support you.
My name is Lona Love, and I just want to say thank you, Eric, for all you do for the kids and for the community as well. This is something that we look forward to every year, and we're just so blessed to know you and count you as a friend, and you just inspire us to be better people. Thank you, Eric.
Hi everyone, and welcome tonight under the African Stars. It is a wonderful, fantastic event, and we're all here really to support one of our own. He has an orphanage back in Africa, and it's called Cornerstone of Hope Orphanage. And with me, I have Jack, who's also a CEO of African Life Network. And Jack and I actually serve on a board together. So Jack,
how are you?
I'm good.
It's good to see you doing your thing.
Yeah, it is good to see you showing support.
Yeah, yep. We have to support. I mean, this is our community. and whatever we can do to think about, how to help these kids, and whatever solutions we can bring on the table. Coming together is always the first part of the solution. So that's where we're going.
Wow, I couldn't agree more. Now, for a message to either Eric or the kids.
I mean, we basically want to say, Eric, what you're doing is a very powerful initiative. We know you've been doing it for a long time, but don't give up. There are going to be obstacles, there are going to be challenges, but you need to keep doing it because it's your calling. And the kids are blessed to have Eric, to have the whole foundation, Cornerstone of Hope. It's a blessing to have people who care about you. The least you can do is focus on your future aspirations, have a plan about who you want to be, what you want to become, and be strong about it because you will make it.
Wow, that is powerful. I'm getting goosebumps, Jack. And if you're not able to make it to this event, hey, this is not the end. He has a website. We will pin it down here. You can just go and show your support, adopt the kids, feed the kids, get them a gift, whatever you gotta do, let's support this kid. Yeah? Thank you.
Eric, thank you so much for being a good friend and for all that you do for the orphanage in Nigeria. It's just an incredible opportunity for us to get involved in something that we believe in because you believe in it so much. We appreciate it very much, and thank you for inviting me tonight.
Thank you so much, and thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Trisha Gabriel. I'm co-founder for Genesis Youth Foundation, and today we are here at the Cornerstone of Hope Orphanage fundraising dinner, and I'm so glad to be here. This is my 5th or 6th year in celebration for the fundraiser, and I'm so proud of Brother Eric for the great work he's doing here for the kids in Nigeria. And whenever I have the chance to come out, I like to bring out the kids to perform and just celebrate the other kids back home. So I'm glad to be here and look forward to having a great time. Thank you.
I just want the board members to please stand up and be recognized. If you're one of the board members, Cornerstone of Hope Orphanage, please stand up or raise up your hands and just let the crowd welcome you. Thank you. Pastor Johnny, surprise. I want you to please pray for us.
Will you pray with me? God, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here tonight, to listen to the music, to celebrate together, to eat good food, and mostly, God, to turn our attention and our generosity toward Cornerstone of Hope and these children that are served through the work of all the employees there in Benin City and through the tireless work of Eric. God, I pray that you would bless those who have gathered here tonight. I pray that you would bless our time together. Open our hearts and open our wallets, God. We pray all this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yo,
Trisha Gabriel, co-founder for Genesis Youth Foundation. We are a nonprofit in Des Moines, and our goal is we level the playing field for immigrant refugee families and youth. And we do that through the sports and the arts as a way to engage them into educational activities. So as our way to give back and also be a part of Cornerstone of Hope Orphanage is performing. Some of you have seen us perform before last year, and we're back again. And Brother Eric is a good friend of ours. He's a family friend, and it's a nice way for us to give back. So Genesis is another organization, but we also want to be a part of this organization. So every year we come and perform. We want to say thank you for having us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you at our event coming up June 24th. Is the Ubuntu Leadership Summit, and we're going to be learning about leadership opportunities and just sharing knowledge and resources. Thank you for the evening.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for all your hard work. We love you, and we're happy to be here to support you.
Keep up the good work, and we hope to watch the orphanage grow under your leadership. God bless you, brother. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
You bet. You bet.
Eric, you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
So I have a friend named Eric. I think most of you know Eric. If you don't, you're in the right place tonight, because Eric is kind of the reason for this whole shindig. He's the reason for this whole event. And Eric was born in Nigeria. He'll tell you Alaska, but it's really Nigeria. And he was born in Benin City. And from Benin City, he grew up. He went to Spain. He went to the Ukraine, if I'm right about that. And then he eventually won the immigration lottery, and he came all the way to the United States and ended up here in Des Moines. But even as he has worked to make a life in America, Eric's heart has always been in Benin City. It's always been with the people of Nigeria. He has a deep love for those people. And so it's out of that deep love that God began to grow in Eric the call to care for orphans in his hometown. Now, the weird thing about that call, when Eric first heard it, maybe you've heard the story, maybe you haven't. The first time Eric heard that call, I think it was a strange call, because in Nigeria, that's kind of the job of the government to care for the orphans. There's not a lot of private orphanages there. And so Eric starts to hear this call, and I wouldn't blame him if he wondered what in the world God was saying to him. But this is the love that he had for the people. And so he thought he was going to go and do this job in Nigeria. People thought he was crazy. People tried to stop him, but he was going to do it. So he was not deterred. And after his father passed away, Eric actually inherited his childhood home in Benin City. And then he turned that home into the building that we have pictures of and that we are here to support tonight, called Cornerstone of Hope. But more than a building, he started this ministry. He wanted to spend his inheritance, what his father had left him, he wanted to spend it on helping others, to give families to those who didn't have family at all. So, Kevin said I was going to come talk about kindness. That's what I'm going to talk about. I think that in our world, the idea of kindness gets kind of a bad reputation, right? I think our political leaders, our societal leaders have kind of decided that kindness is not a winning issue. So we're not going to be kind to each other. If you spend any time on Facebook, you know we are not kind to each other. We don't know how to be kind to each other online, I don't think. And kindness is kind of fading away. I think we think of kindness as being like a warm and fuzzy feeling. Kindness is kind of what preschool teachers do, but not what we do in our everyday lives. And as much as I'm grateful for preschool teachers, don't get me wrong, I love preschool teachers, I think that kindness actually means a lot more than just warm fuzzies and circle time with kids. I think that kindness is a reflection of God's love for us. And even if you're not a person of faith here in this room, I think that kindness should be part of your life as well. So as a pastor, I spend a lot of time thinking about the Bible and thinking about how the Bible connects to our lives today. And one of the stories that I love in the Bible is a story about a woman named Rahab who lived in a city called Jericho. I would like the gospel choir to come back and sing about Jericho, but I'm not going to make them do that. I'm not going to make them do that. If you're like me, you probably think Eric did everything he did because he's an amazing guy. If you've met Eric, you know he's an amazing guy. He's a good person, right? He's better than I will ever be in my life. That's what's true about Eric. And we think, of course, he did something amazing and good and kind because that's what amazing, good and kind people like Eric do. But the reason I like the story of Rahab is because she is not what we would expect when we talk about great, amazing, wonderful, morally upright people. There are children present, so I don't want to get too much into what Rahab was about. But if you know the story of Rahab, you know that she was a woman of ill repute in Jericho. She did what she had to do to make a living. But her character is important in the Bible because of her willingness to show kindness to strangers. So if you don't know the story of Rahab, Joshua has just taken over for Moses. The people of Israel have come out of Egypt. They are heading toward what they call the Promised Land, right? And they get to the walls of this city called Jericho. Big walls. That's what we know about Jericho. And Joshua says, go on in. He says to some spies, go on into Jericho, figure out what it's like in there so that we can figure out how we're going to take over this city. Go into Jericho and see what's going on. And so the spies all go in, and it says they went to Rahab's house, and there they were discovered by some soldiers. The people of Jericho knew that they had come, and they thought, we're going to take care of these guys. But Rahab made a choice. She took the spies up onto her roof, and it says that she hid them under like flax and hay. She hid the spies. And then when the soldiers came to Rahab's house and said, hey, we saw some spies come in here a little bit earlier, she said, yeah, no, they stopped by, but they're gone. I don't know where they went. I didn't see which way they went, right? I don't know where they went. And so Rahab saved these spies' life. She saved their life. So when Kayla and I first met Eric, we knew that our heart for adoption was the same heart that he had. And so we decided that we wanted to pursue adoption through Cornerstone of Hope in Nigeria. So we made our plans to travel to Nigeria. We found out about this little boy, Joseph, who's not so little anymore. You want to wave Joseph? There he is right there. He's big now. He's big now. This was 11 years ago when he was baby Joseph, okay? We found out about Joseph. We made our plans to travel to Nigeria. When we first got on our plane to Lagos, we noticed a married couple there on the plane with us, and we just kind of thought, oh, they look like a nice young couple. There's not a lot of young couples on this plane. So we went to Nigeria. We spent like a week in Nigeria. Then we got on a plane to get back from Lagos, and we laid over in Amsterdam. And while we were in Amsterdam, we saw this couple again, the same couple that we had seen on the plane when we first got to Nigeria. And then we got on the plane from Amsterdam, and we landed in Detroit. And we went to like Chili's. And there at Chili's was this couple. So we thought we should probably talk to these people. So that's what we did, Ugo and Amy. And Ugo was born in Nigeria, and his wife, Amy, who he met when he was in the United States for college, he and Amy were going to go back and live in Nigeria for a year there in Lagos and work. So we got to talking to them. They were wonderful people. We exchanged email addresses. It was just kind of one of those things. Well, it turned out that when we went back to Nigeria, Ugo and Amy lived a block away from the U.S. consulate. And so Ugo and Amy opened their home to us. I mean, we had spent some time in that Chili's, but we weren't friends, right? But they said, come and stay with us. They opened their home to us. They invited us to come and stay with them, and we were actually able to stay with Ugo and Amy for over a month as we figured out and navigated the difficult road of international adoption. Out of a few flights and an awkward hello at Chili's, Ugo and Amy did not know us at all. They knew we were people of faith, and they were people of faith, but that was it. And yet they were willing to share what they had with us. Without them, just like without Eric, our adoption would never have been possible. They cared for us when they did not have to care for us. They took a risk on us as strangers and treated us like we were family. So an author named Amy Peterson wrote a book called Where Goodness Still Grows, and she was writing about virtues and she was writing about the virtue of kindness. And she wrote about how kindness actually comes from the English root word for kin or family. And she goes on to talk about how if we think about kindness as kinship, it changes it from a sentimental idea into something that can actually change our lives and our hearts. So Eric and Cornerstone of Hope don't just give children a roof and meals. They give children a family. When a child comes to live at Cornerstone of Hope, they are given Eric's father's name as their last name. We could go right now to Joseph's birth certificate from when he was at Cornerstone of Hope, and there it says, Joseph Edcopage. And he says it right? It's his father's name, and they all get his father's name when they come to live at the orphanage. Because kindness for Eric means kinship. Rahab, in our story, cared for the spies like they were her family. She took a risk for them. She laid her own life on the line for them. And that's what happens at Cornerstone of Hope. Ugo and Amy gave Kayla and I kindness that felt like family. They took us in and kept us safe. And the amazing thing about the story of Rahab, and I know I'm a preacher, I'm talking about Rahab too much, but the amazing thing I think about the story of Rahab is that if we keep on looking deeper into the book of Joshua at the story, we see that the kindness that she showed was reciprocated to her. When Jericho fell, Rahab and her family were saved. And not only saved, but we're told that Rahab and her family made their home among the Israelites. They became kin with the Israelites. And if you keep on reading through the Bible, you'll come to the lineage of Jesus, and you'll find out that Rahab actually ended up marrying an Israelite. And she gave birth to a son named Boaz, who himself would go on to marry a woman named Ruth in an act of kinship. And they would all find themselves there as part of the family of Jesus. From one act of kindness, we see this woman go from a woman of ill repute, just a normal lady, to someone who is part of the lineage of Christ. That is the ultimate end of God's kindness. It's the same as the ultimate end of the kindness at Cornerstone of Hope, that we are made sons and daughters. That's what kinship, kindness, is all about. To be kind means to be kin. That's what Amy Peterson wrote. The word unfolded in my mind. God's kindness meant precisely that God became my kin, Jesus, my brother, and this was a foundational truth about who I was. So I'm going to invite my wife up now. She talks better than I do. But I want us to think about this idea of kindness and kinship tonight. How we can be kin to each other, and how we can be part of being kin to these children whose faces and names we get to see on our flyers and brochures tonight, and what it means to invite them into this larger family that we're part of.
Hello. Thank you, Johnny. So I'm Kayla, and when I met Eric, I was actually a rookie reporter for the Des Moines Register, and I was covering the business beat for the networking section. And his energy caught my attention. So if you know Eric, he can bring a lot of energy to the room. And I had my little notebook in my hand, and I was getting kind of bored of scribbling the same mundane stories all the time. And I kind of wanted to hear what this guy over here was talking about. So I made my way toward the corner of the room where, surprise, surprise, he'd drawn a bit of an audience. He had a light in his eyes, and he threw his hands into every story that he told. And I totally forgot about the assignment my editor sent me on. And I heard him say, and that's how I turned my childhood home into Cornerstone of Hope Orphanage. And I was like, what? And there was a trio of suited men who worked in insurance because it's Des Moines, and everybody nodded. And one of them asked for a clarification. And Eric said, "Oh, well, excuse my thick Alaskan accent." And I soon learned, like Johnny said, we would hear that again. Now, Eric might not be from Alaska, but as Johnny pointed out, he's lived pretty much everywhere else. He was born in Benin City, Nigeria, to an elementary school headmaster and a teacher, and his beginnings were humble, but they were hospitable. They welcomed people in with kinship. And along with his siblings, Eric lived in a home that his parents actually built themselves, board by board, with their hands after they got married. And his parents had left behind some of the beliefs that they had grown up being taught, and they kind of forged a new path for themselves. They were both the first people in their families to be professing Christians. And after becoming Christians, his father changed his name, and his mother chose his name, and they created a space for family. Kids that came in were welcomed and loved. And because I'm a journalist, I have a quote from Eric that I want to read. He said, "Our tiny home provided shelter and the basic necessities of life. My childhood was very relationship-based. Our values were God first, family second, and then helping others." So this is really cool because this is a legacy that all of us here get to enter into. Kids that needed an education would come over to his house, they'd do their homework, and this setting laid the foundation for a legacy that we're invited into tonight, providing a home for the orphaned and the forgotten. I have to say that my views on charitable giving have evolved after I've learned more and more about the nonprofit sector. I used to work in the communications of a very large, popular, flashy, global nonprofit. And behind the scenes, I found myself very discouraged and very disturbed. Because organizations can seem so beautiful from the outside and be so rotten, so unhealthy on the inside. And this is what I really want you to know above everything else, is that the thing about Cornerstone of Hope is that it is ran by a team and by a leader who care. And that in Nigeria, there's a Nigerian board, the nannies are Nigerian, the security is Nigerian. Do you know how rare it is that a nonprofit is ran from the country and the state and the town that it serves? It's incredible. I think we know here tonight that Cornerstone of Hope is small. It doesn't have a fancy marketing budget or a giant advertising budget or a slick website. It's not super well known. But from everything I have seen, and Johnny and I have been around for about 13 years now, is that it is run well. The board is completely volunteer. Eric doesn't make a dime. That's also very rare. When you give, that money is going right back. And I believe that God is multiplying it. I don't know if there's any other way that it could be that way. So I want to just encourage you. You're already here. I want to encourage you to be open to where the Spirit is leading you. Open to where you might be able to give, because I know if you give 10, Eric and the team, the power of the Lord is going to make it into 1,000. It's pretty incredible. I have been to Cornerstone of Hope. So has Johnny. So has Joseph. And I want you to know that the money that you're giving doesn't just disappear into some thin air. It's going to food in kids' bellies. It's going to doctor's appointments. It's going to a van to help get them where they need to go safely and securely. And your kinship and your kindness matter. Now will you pray with me? God, thank you so much for this opportunity to enter into the story that you are writing, that you have been writing way before Cornerstone of Hope even existed. way before Eric's parents even got married and started building on that land. God, you've made us for kinship. You have made us for family. And God, we live in a world that's not always the way it should be, where families are broken apart, where there's suffering, where there's inequity and injustice. But God, we get to write a better story. We get to write a better way. And so we thank you. We thank you for the kids that are there right now. We thank you for the staff, for the volunteers. We thank you for all the people that made this night possible, doing the unseen work and the unseen labor of getting food and getting stuff on the tables that look pretty. I mean, it takes a whole lot of people to make something happen. And God, we know that you can make something small into something beautiful. So I just ask that you prepare our hearts to be generous, and that we can gather again next year celebrating all God has done and will do. We love you, and we know that you love us infinitely more than we can ever imagine. Amen. I also want to say that there's a loaf of sourdough bread that Johnny baked today, so go bid on it.
Nimeona mkono wako na sasa ninasema wewe ni Ebeneza. Nimefika, nimeona mkono wako na sasa ninasema wewe ni Ebeneza. Nimefika, nimeona mkono wako na sasa ninasema wewe ni Ebeneza.
So tell our friends here what we just heard.
Oh my goodness, putting me on a spot already. But oh my goodness, that was a powerful song, 3 of them. And they're really all giving glory to God. It's acknowledging that God, you're our God. Tell it all to God. Tell it all to Jesus. Jesus got it. So that's the powerful message about, just you can take your load and give it to someone else. God and Jesus, and they got it for you.
Thank you very much. I don't speak Swahili, I wish I do, but each time I listen to this choir, it brings it home for me. So, Pastor Willie, you want to say just a few words about your group or whoever you designate? Come on, you can do it.
Our church is based in Block area. It is a corner of Kingman Boulevard and 29 Street. We started this church in order to reach out to African communities. And then when we saw many migrants and refugees coming to Des Moines, so we decided to start this church where people can enjoy God in their own language and in their own culture. So that is the main purpose of our church. We train people in the Word of God and to make them ready for the coming of Jesus. We are part of the Ifri churches. Thank you so much.
Alright, we're here at the Night Under the African Stars, and everything that's happening here today is for the kids. We're here to support the kids, and with me today I have very, very, very special guests, and I don't want to get teary-eyed because, man, what they did is amazing, and I just want them to walk us through their journey, just tell us a little bit about themselves and how they're connected to the Cornerstone of Hope Orphanage.
Well, I'm Kayla Craig, and this
I'm
is
Johnny.
my husband, Johnny Craig. But this is the amazing person that you want to hear
That's
from.
right. Yep.
You want to introduce yourself?
I am Joseph Craig.
Yes. And what's your connection to Cornerstone Folk?
Cornerstone of Hope has been like a home to me ever since I was put into Cornerstone of Hope. It felt like I had a home before I got to know, where I really got to know what home I really had, and it's been helping me throughout the way. Getting to America and having a family of my own.
That's exactly what I felt like doing too. I know, like, if I had you.
That was great, Joe.
Yeah. And you made this dream happen as well.
Yeah, well, we met Eric, 12 years ago we met Eric, and he had such a vision and passion for Cornerstone of Hope and for the children in Benin City, and so we were excited to connect with him, and we felt like God was calling us to adopt, and so when we heard about Joseph, it just felt like God opening up the door. So he was and is the greatest gift of our life. So we're very lucky to be part of Joseph's life, and very grateful to Cornerstone of Hope and Eric.
Yes,
For sure.
yeah, and we've had the opportunity to go to Cornerstone of Hope twice, and everybody, the security, the nannies,
Yes.
all of the amazing volunteers, the kids. It is such a place of joy and a place of family, and it's just a really special place where you can feel God's love, and we hope to go back and
We
to
will.
bring Joseph back.
Yes.
We're
Go see
looking
his
forward
roots.
to that day and praying for that day.
That's
Just
right.
praying for everybody that plays a role at Cornerstone of Hope here in Iowa, all the way to Benin City and beyond. It really takes a whole lot of people, and it's so beautiful.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for sharing. Happy for having you. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Happy for having all of you.
Oh,
This is
yes,
such a
thank
beautiful story. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And we are live at the Night Under the African Stars. It's a fantastic event, and I have the man of the hour here, and we're all here today to support Cornerstone of Hope Orphanage. Everything we're doing tonight is all for the kids, and man, I am getting goosebumps because this man has put something together and we're here for it. So Eric, please, just introduce yourself and tell us your little passion about what drove you to start wanting to support the kids.
Thank you very much. Cornerstone of Hope Orphanage is a way where we share our love, build hope, and change lives for the orphans. We don't call them orphans, we call them the chosen one. This is our annual Gala event where we raise funds to help support the children back home in Nigeria, the orphanage. This year is particularly very interesting, and it's special to us because we are looking at starting a new orphanage in Senegal, and it's going to be in Dakar. So this fundraiser today is going to go towards helping the kids in Nigeria as well as a new orphanage in Dakar. Why am I doing this? This is my way of living my contract with God. Growing up in Africa, I never had all that I needed. So any way you can help the orphans to make the rejected stone become cornerstone is what we do here. And I'm not alone. You're here doing your part. The wonderful people here, they are all doing their part. We're all just planting the seed to help those kids in Africa become the chosen one. We don't want them to be called orphans. Now, there are so many help that we need because the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few, so we need help. And we ask people to join us, to continue doing their own part as we continue to do our own part. Collectively, the world will be a better place. So that is why we're here today. It's a big day. It's our Super Bowl. and we hope that this event is going to go well.
That's
We
right.
pray for that.
Absolutely. It's our Super Bowl. And by the way, before I let you go, if someone was not able to make it today, but they still want to support the kids, what's the website and how can they do that?
Very, very good question. Our website is thehopeorphans.org. You can go to the website to read about us. Most importantly, pray for the children, but also give your donations as the Lord put it in your heart, because every little thing you give, every little donation helps.
Wow. Thank you so much, Eric. And again, he's the man of the hour. So he has a full event to run. We won't keep him here long. Thank you so much for making a few more minutes for us.
Thank you very much. We are all men of the hour. I'm just one of the laborers in the field and a servant in the field as well. So thank you, and may God bless you all.
Spoken like a true leader. Well, again, today it's all about supporting the kids. Let's do that. Hey, if you have your laptop ready or you have your phone, go to that website and let's show some love, right? Until next time, have a fantastic day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's ours. Brenda Stephanie, raise your hand. Don't give that to Brenda. That's ours. Brad Stambro won that. We got the wine set. It looks like Trudy Carlson. Raise your hand. Oh, there you go. Mary Wolf won a Beyonce. Raise your hand, Mary Wolf. No, we don't have Mary Wolf in the building. We'll text her. Bonnie Davis. All right, Joe, run that to Bonnie, will ya? Kayla Craig, you want something? Erica Jensen.
Hello. I want to say thank you to Eric, IBM, my spouse, for his unconditional love for the kids at the Cornerstone of Hope Orphanage in Benin City, and the supporters. Thank you for your unconditional love and for your support for the kids, and the Christmas present every year. Oh my, it's mind-blowing for the kids and the staff there. I say thank you and God bless you for your love and support that you are giving to the guys back home.
Little message to my dad. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your hard work. I know that you're affecting a lot of people's lives in a good way by the work you do, not just ours, but many lives around the world. I just want to be like you when I grow up, you know, to have that type of impact on people and to save lives like that. And to supporters, thank you for all your help. Every little counts. Thank you.
Thank you Lord, for your support. Thank you for giving us shelter and providing for us. Also taking care of kids back home. Thank you for the love you're giving to us. I want to say thank you to the donors and people who have supported my dad throughout this journey. And may God bless you guys. Thank you guys so much.
We love you.
Wow, wow, wow. Tonight has been an event for the books. It has been impactful, amazing conversations, amazing connections, and oh my goodness, I just know that these kids are loved, these kids are well taken care of, and these kids are about to be taken care of even more. And to be honest, this event happens every year, so it's an annual gala where everybody gets together and we send our support to the kids. And as you've really heard today, there's another orphanage that will be opened in another country, another African country, so that is amazing. It just goes to tell how much impactful and how many people's lives are being changed by this. So if you are not able to support today or be here today, this is not the end. The website is up and running, so feel free to, we will link it down here below. Just go in and send your support. Whatever your heart tells you, there's nothing too small or too big for the kids. Think about the kids the whole time when you're doing this, because at the end of the day, so what Eric has done here, he has created a network where we have kids that need parents, and we have parents that need kids. So he's creating that network where if you're not able to have kids, you can adopt one. And if we have kids who cannot, don't have their parents, they can have, chosen families. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric's family, for letting him do all these things for the community. Thank you, the Des Moines community, for all your unwavering support. And for you kids back in Africa, we love you, you matter, and you got this. Thank you so much, and until next time, have a wonderful day.